MotorWeek, John Davis.
Well, hello and welcome again to MotorWeek. We're glad to have you with us. Back in 1989, when we tested the first Suzuki Swift, you heard the term EconoBox applied to a good number of cars, and it wasn't a compliment. Well, fortunately, that's no longer the case. Today's entry-level cars have to offer a lot more than just good gas mileage to be competitive. And even though the cars in this class are still small, their impact on the market is large, which makes this car, the all-new 1995 Swift, critically important to Suzuki. Let's see how it delivers. What the new Suzuki Swift has to offer is economical transportation, and that's still the #1 priority of entry-level buyers. And the Swift delivers fuel economy that few cars this side of its first cousin, the Geo Metro, can beat. EPA ratings for manual cars are 39 city and 43 highway. We managed an excellent 42 miles per gallon in real-world driving. The Metro does even better, an impressive 44 city and 49 highway. But unlike the 3-cylinder Geo Metro hatchback, the 3-door Swift's power comes from this aluminum block, single overhead cam, 1.3-liter 4-cylinder engine. It puts out all of 70 horsepower and 74 pound-feet of torque, the same as before. Although for 95, it motivates a much more contemporary-looking shape than the previous generation Swift. A bulging belt line flows from just below the windshield all the way to the rear hatch. Wheelbase is stretched by almost 4 inches. Overall length increases by 2 and height is up 2.3. But at just under 12.5 feet long, the Swift is still squarely a subcompact. Yet the body is much stiffer than before. Doors now close with a solid thud. The 3-door hatchback is the only Swift body style offered, but the Geo Metro does offer a 4-door sedan. Transmission choice and anti-lock brakes are the main model determinants. Our ABS-equipped test car had the standard 5-speed manual, which shifts far more positively than previous Swifts. Clutch feel was good. Aggressive shifter use helped us ring a very decent 0 to 60 time of 10.9 seconds. Low-end kick was good for such a small power plant, but as expected, engine noise was very noticeable in the mid and upper ranges of the rev band. Through the slalom, the Swift's size was a clear advantage as it darted between the cones with ease. Steering feedback was good, and the 4-wheel McPherson strut independent suspension very forgiving. But the Swift's handling prowess is limited by these small 155/80 series tires mounted on 13-inch steel wheels. This minimal amount of rubber on the road was more keenly felt during our high-speed exercises. But tire slide and body roll were predictable, so the Swift still managed to keep its composure. Braking was affected by the small tires too. The front disc rear drum setup with anti-lock stopped the 1,856-pound Swift in a longish average distance of 140 feet from 60. While the exterior suggests a move upscale, the Swift's interior is a utilitarian design reflecting its basic transportation goal. But this new Swift does deliver well on safety, with airbags for both driver and passenger. Once impressive for this class, it's now almost mandatory to compete. We think a tachometer should be mandatory too with such a hard-working engine, but obviously Suzuki didn't. Those gauges that are in place are fine, but we could live without the daytime running lights indicator. Suzuki did improve the Swift's cloth bucket seats, making them more comfortable and supportive. As expected, adjustments are minimal, but they get the job done. Ventilation and heating are accomplished with 4 sliding levers. Our car's optional air conditioning is also easily activated. The rear bench seat is surprisingly roomy for such a small car, and where the added wheelbase is most appreciated. Legroom is still a bit tight, but other dimensions are fine for small adults. The entire seat back folds down, creating welcomed additional cargo space, which is easily accessible through the wide opening hatch. Liftover is low. But our 67 decibel sound reading at 60 miles per hour was remarkably low for such an entry-level car. Our little Suzuki scored well in the total safety department too, with dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, and 5-mile-per-hour bumpers. The Swift also meets 1997 side impact standards. Along with mileage and safety, another priority for entry-level buyers is price. The Swift without ABS starts at only $8,699. Add anti-lock and it jumps to $9,259. Our Canadian-made ABS test car's air conditioning, sound system, and floor mats took its total to $10,639. That's over $1,500 less than some of its Japanese-made competition. Which makes us believers that the all-new Swift delivers a sizable package of safety and economy for the money. And who knows, if the word gets around, tiny Suzuki could become a big player in the entry-level market.